Zach, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. So this is the first time we've met.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm the case manager here. My name's Crystal. Pretty much my job is to process and assess what we're talking about. I'm going to be evaluating things that you discuss, and then we're going to come up with a plan. That's kind of in my name, case management. So we're going to come up with a plan, and we can figure out ways to meet different services that are in the community that can help with whatever situations are going on in your life. So that's pretty much what my role is. One thing I do need to discuss though is that I am a mandated reporter, so if you discuss any sort of wanting to harm yourself, harm others, I'm a mandated reporter. I have to report that, but other than that, everything we discuss between you and I or whatever you want to sign over so I can discuss with other people when I'm coming up with your case management. So if you wanted to meet with somebody, it would be up to you if you wanted me to discuss anything with them. Okay? One other thing I need to discuss with you is the client's rights. Some of them probably won't apply to you, but I just kind of want to list off. I know you've already signed everything, but so pretty much you have basic rights, less restrictive appropriate setting rights, assistance of protective rights. You can file grievances to the state saying I violated your rights if that did happen. Confidentiality, that's kind of what we just discussed. You have a right to individualized treatment or service plans. So those are pretty much your rights as a client. So you have the risks and benefits of coming here, but the best thing is we're going to come up with a plan and we're going to see that through, okay?
Yep.
Alright, so what did you want to talk about today?
Basically, needed financial guidance or advice or on a few things on whether what I should do and what's gonna happen if I do these certain things, like the end goal, what I'm trying to accomplish with it all, I guess.
Have you ever met with a financial aid counselor?
No.
Alright, so that's something we could discuss at the end after we start talking more deep in your situation, but lots of times I can meet up and have somebody come here, or you can go to their treatment, but I can be there as a extra person if you want to discuss things. But pretty much they come up with plans on how to build your credit so you're able to come up with new loans and whatnot like that. A lot of times they go randomly to places in the state, like state houses, or a lot of times they go to armories also, where they just help people, give just free financial advice, but I can definitely help guide you in that direction also. And those services are free all the time for the most part, so if you find one on your own time also, you're more than capable of going to see them later on down the road too, to catch up and see if you're going on the right track, or of course you can come here and I can help with that also.
Yeah.
But it's pretty broad, so anything they're really good at finding, so they'll be able to see how your credit can increase, how your monthly budget is, because budgets are really important when they come to coming up with financial stability. But so do you have a job right now?
I currently started a new job at Bath Iron Works about 3 weeks ago.
How are you liking it?
I enjoy it. Pay is a few dollars less than what I was making at my other job starting out, but in the end I should be able to make more.
Alright, so at least you have that broad horizon that in the future it's going to be a lot better. How are you budgeting your money with your bills currently?
Not very well.
Are your bills getting paid?
Yes, they are all getting paid, but it's trying to get past things paid as well from a messy divorce, basically.
Okay, so if you had a rough number on how much debt you were in from your divorce, how much would that be?
Probably between vehicles, credit cards, probably 40,000, 30,000.
I can understand where that would be kind of stressful.
Yep. I also have to pay the way the divorce decree set up. I also have to pay a vehicle, which is like $400 something, so that ends up basically quite a chunk of my pay going to that, and past mistakes, I guess. So I find it hard budgeting, trying to budget, to get all that caught up, and to also be able to live.
So have you come up with a plan to, do you mind if I write on this piece of paper? Alright, so if you've had problems with coming up with a current budget and then budgeting towards what you owe, and then your fund money, I suppose, would be a good terminology for it.
Yep.
So a lot of people, they like to think of I know it's still going though, a financial pyramid where on the bottom they are paying what's due right now. So in order to get to the point where you're not having to pay back debt, you always have to pay back first. A lot of people, they find this to be the hardest part to get out of, to be able to enjoy and go up. But like I've said, usually financial people will be much better at doing that. I kind of just have a very basic knowledge of that, so I don't want to give the wrong impression that I know a ton about financial advice. But usually when people are coming up with a budget, you don't really want to stress about what you owe, because what you owe is what you owe. When it comes to doing your current, you obviously don't want to fall behind, so that's your biggest thing. So if you kind of put in with your paycheck, how much do you make about a week?
Give or take 600, 650.
Alright, so that's per week. And then you said you have your car payment and your ex-wife's car payment?
Correct.
And how much is yours?
504.
And then hers?
428.
And then your car insurance?
120.
Okay, so that's just with cars. Do you have any housing expenses right now?
Not currently.
Okay. And how much do you spend a week in gas approximately?
45. At the most.
Alrighty. So you definitely are making more than what you have for current bills. Do you have anything more than that? I'm not talking like credit cards or whatnot, just those big ones.
Bill, food,
Okay, how much do you spend a week in that?
anywhere from 40 to 100.
So we're just gonna go with 100 for every single week. So pretty much, from what you can tell right here, I'd say probably about 60% of what you're making is going towards current bills, which is good because that is less than what you're currently making. So you're not making less than what you have for bills. So that's a huge thing you should be happy about. Some people can't do that, so. But, so that would be one thing when you're talking about doing a budget, is every single week you have a paycheck, rather than just waiting until this huge bill is due. So rather than waiting until something's $500, you put every single week, put however much that is, so 500 divided by 4, like 120, something like that.
Yep.
So every single week just saving that and doing it that way would be a good way to just keep up with the current. And then at the end of the month, what I would say is take whatever you owe and how much you have left over from those bills and your fund money, and then put it towards what you have in debt. So that way you're not stressing about your debt, because once it's there's not a ton you can do. So like if something is in collections or whatnot. But that's the best way I would say with coming up with a budget right now. But like I said, if you want to meet with a financial person, I think that would be a good way. Does any of that help you at all?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
No.
Alright, do you wanna set up a plan so we can, come up with a meeting with somebody, and I can take your phone number when I call and make sure I got something okay with, his name's Chris, so he'll be able to meet with you.
Yep.
would you feel better if it was here with me, or do you just kind of want to go off and do it on your own?
You can do it on my own.
Okay, I'll just set up that meeting for you. Let's see. What is your phone number?
207-656-2156.
And I don't want to make you feel like I don't have your information, because I do. I just want to verify, because sometimes people's phone numbers don't get updated because they like to change them. So, I will call him and then come up with a meeting, and then I'll call you and give you his contact information and set up a meeting, make sure everything's all set. Is there any days of the week that work best for you?
Any day.
Any day? In the evenings or?
Yeah, evenings.
It sounds great. So I'll do that, and we'll be in contact from there. But I think this is a really good step in your treatment plan, I guess is what you would call it. But I think he'll be able to help you, and then we can meet again in the future and see how that's going for you. And if he didn't give you what you wanted, you can always seek a different person, because you never know, they might give a little bit of a different advice.
Yep.
Sounds great. It's nice to meet you, Zach.
Thank you.
Oh shit! It was over 10 minutes.